So I thought I'd walk through my decision making here for my own personal development. I had a game against NowahT. I am going first. I could have banned quite a bit here. I was thinking that Berserker is getting banned by Noah, and I don't want him to have Light Cavalry and Scout as his first two picks, but I don't know how closely equivalent Earl with March and Scout is to Light Cavalry and Scout. So I could see a number of other bans here. I felt pretty unsure. So he ended up banning Archer, which was interesting. And I don't really know what to make of it. So I take Berserker here. Noah takes Earl and Royal Guard. I take Scout, knowing that I definitely don't want him to have Scout, and Earl with March. And then I'm really debating on, do I want Cavalry, do I want Knight, do I want Crossbowman? I ended up on Knight because I think it matched up well against the Royal Guard and the Cavalry. You know, Cavalry pops in, it hits you. If your Knight's bolstered, then you can hit it back and it can't do anything. I could see taking Crossbow here as well. It takes Cavalry. All right, so pretty messy opening hand. I definitely want to get the Zerk down. We're going a different direction. I played Knight here instead of Lancer because there's no fort for me to attack. Recruit a Zerker. That's probably what he expects. He let me have Zerker, so it felt like I was walking into a trap somewhat, knowing that I'm getting Zerker, I'm going in on it, and he had totally planned for that to happen. So I move Knight up with the intent of being able to deploy a Scout in a more forward position. I'm going to start building up the Berserker. So here, I didn't want to toss the Scout down yet. I'm definitely going to get to Berserker, so I might as well do that first. So here, I could have and perhaps should have just put the Scout on this point, but my thinking was that I was going to move the Scout into a blocking position to be able to kind of run interference so that I could move my Berserker up a little bit more safely. Because here he now can't move up to this point. He can't, I mean, he can sit here. I can't really take my Berserker there, but I have a chance to be able to, move up at some point. It seemed like a reasonable spot, and my left side would be so clogged otherwise. And then I just have Zerker versus 3 units. So I grab a Scout here because I feel like my Scout's going to end up being reasonably active, and it feels okay to have, Berserker. I'll end up with 1 coin, and then I've got a second, more active unit. The way the game played out, though, it's possible that I should have been investing in the Knight here instead. So I move up with the intent of, starting to threaten this side. In retrospect, this scout is a little in the way. I can't move up to attack the crossbowman, which ends up becoming a little awkward. So it's going to be a very active Royal Guard. So I wasn't sure what to do here. I couldn't really move the scout anywhere that it wasn't threatened, so I bolstered. I would love to be able to have redeployed the scout during this game, so perhaps I should have recruited there or passed instead. All right, so he's got a move on there. His hand's kind of trash, but at least gives me a hit on the crossbow. I guess my Lancer moves up and attacks here. It's not doing really anything else. Bit of back and forth. No, we're gonna move over. Here, I end up passing. Possible I should have grabbed something like another Lancer to maximize my chances. I can go protect this point because I am now just starting to realize that I am in trouble. Really snuck up on me, as has repeatedly happened, especially in games against much better players. All right, so here I've got a Berserker. I'm gonna move up, take out the Earl. I wasn't sure whether I should capture the point here or not. It seemed like it wasn't going to advance my game plan, so I just left it. So we've got a capture. Here, I think capturing may have been a mistake. I might have wanted to move up towards this point, and assuming that I'd be able to take out the crossbowman with the scout if it tried to come over to snag that point, that would have let me threaten a flip, which would have been a big deal later. It seems like I need to get better at thinking, how am I going to threaten to flip points in a couple bags? I do end up moving up so I can threaten that point, because now obviously I'm very close to a loss. So I march my Berserker up, take out the crossbow, I block, so here I can just eat an Earl. Alternatively, I could have moved down to start to block this point, which may have been better. I'm too focused on attacking. That's clear in my stats. I'm going to move up. Grabs the marker. Kills my Berserker, which I hadn't even noticed. I think at this point I was half playing the game in turns while weed whipping my yard. I end up playing the Berserker here. Really feels like I did a whole lot of nothing this turn. And I lose. So here, I didn't have a clear plan for how I was going to capture points. I mean, honestly, I moved forward. I didn't capture a point the entire game and still managed to get roundly trounced. So this was not frustrating, but this was a difficult match. I didn't really, maybe still don't really understand what went wrong. I see a couple spots. I think I would have replayed my scout over here on this control point earlier. Maybe bolstered off something like the Lancer earlier. Maybe not gone all in on the Zerker. I'm not sure. Especially going against someone who is, miles better. Like, what do you do? If you're a mid-level chess player playing against a grandmaster, in this kind of game, do you just depend on the small amount of variance, or do you try and set up a scenario where you can, ride some bad luck from your opponent?